Hey guys, and welcome back for another HellfireComms Patreon TV Com. Today we're going to be taking a look at episode 1 of I'd say it's rather famous magical girl anime series. It's Futari wa Precure, simply known as Precure outside of Japan, and it's the first series in the Precure meta-series, created by Izumi Todo. Yeah, I don't know what the hell a meta-series is supposed to be, but this was a commission, so I'm not going to ask too many questions. I have Volk with me for this one, because I ain't suffering through anime magical girl bullshit without him by my side.
You just couldn't resist, could you?
No, I could not. I swear I played a Precure game, either on HellfireComms very early on, or on my Entom64 channel for Sora X Nagisa, I think it was a birthday present. It was like a side-scrolling beat-em-up sort of thing. It's on the fringe of my memory right now, so I may be making it up, but whatever, I'm waffling now. Obviously, we cannot show you guys the original content, so please sync up our commentary to your footage using the instructions in the video description below. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to take a wild stab in the dark and say you have no experience with this, correct?
Not with the Precure series, no. The only thing that I've watched that is pretty much considered a magical girl anime from start to finish was the Madoka, the first series of Madoka.
Okay.
Oh, that was a beautiful, beautiful anime. Totally wasn't what I wasn't expecting. So I'm guessing this is probably what you would consider your more typical magical girl anime along the lines of like your Sailor Moons, etc.
Yeah, pretty much. It focuses on Cure Black and Cure White. Cure Black is Mizumi Nagisa. I guess that's where Sora got the last part of his username from. She's known as Natalie Nat Blackstone in the English dub. Nagisa is the athletic heroine of the series. She is a member of the school's lacrosse team and is very popular. Although she is bad at school and is immature, she has her own sense of justice and never lets anyone dare to her down. Her alter ego is Cure Black, with her special abilities lying in her great physical strength and prowess. And on the other side of the Precure team, we have Yukishiro Honoka, Hannah Whitehouse in the English dub. Honoka is the best student in class and loves reading books and science. Though popular with the boys, she has no interest in them. She had a special bond with Kira, helping to teach him the virtues of kindness and friendship. The friends that she has are very close to her, and she will do everything to protect them. She has a lot of hope and can always see the good in people. Her alter ego is Cure White, with her abilities lying in her vast intelligence and agility. So they're basically foils to each other, I suppose.
Yeah, or like one's the athletic one, the other one provides all the performance-enhancing drugs that the latter needs, or the former needs, rather.
There you go. It's like, no, you shouldn't rush in and punch something. Drink this first and then punch them.
And just like the Popeye theme comes out of nowhere and just punches a building in half.
I actually don't know what to expect here. I've seen like loads of pretty cool stuff about the internet, but I don't think I've ever sat down and like watched a full clip of a fight scene or whatever. But from what I can tell, the main thrust of the series is they have to collect the prism stones, which are basically like the Chaos Emeralds, but they're heart-shaped and crystalline, and also CGI, because I don't think they wanted to animate the intricate designs every episode.
Just out of interest, when was this actually released? Because, obviously, being the first in the series, it's probably fairly old, but I wouldn't wager it being, like, ridiculously old, like the Sailor Moon anime and things like that.
Let's see, February 1st, 2004 to January 30th, 2005 was the original run, and the dub ran from March 6th, 2009 to July 31st, 2010. There were 49 episodes in all.
Wow, took him a long time to dub that one. Then again, I suppose the English dubbing scene was not quite as established as what it is now, where we're actually to the point where we're getting simul dubs nowadays. Spoiled little bastards we are.
Interesting. Oh, I don't think this is the first in the Precure series overall, but it was the first to have an English language adaptation.
Ah, so there could well be older ones that we never caught wind of at all.
I'm not sure if I want to go further down the Precure rabbit hole, but I'm doing it. I'm right-clicking, here we go.
Good luck.
Don't patronize me. Alright, we have from 2004 to 2005, Futari wa Precure, which is the one we are watching. So, I guess it is the first. The most recent one is Hokuto Precure, 2018 to present.
Actually, the one thing I'm finding interesting about this one is that usually when you think of magical girl animes, it's either just one person kind of acting alone, or it's like a group of people. Whereas this is a duo, and that's not
Yeah.
really something you really see in magical girl animes. Usually you see it in other animes, like in, say, something like Dirty Pair, or you have like trios in Bubblegum Crash. But a duo is something I'm not used to seeing in this sort of format.
It's kind of like, and I will liken this to Sentai, because, they transform using magical MacGuffins. It's the same thing. I was kind of weirded out when they started adapting, like, Sentai series for Power Rangers that had three-person teams, like Ninja Storm. Up until then, I think it was like, 4 or 5, like 6 max at that point, but to go down all the way to 3, that was a bit of a dynamic change.
Oh yeah, but they've done that for one of their most recent one as well, where they've actually got 2 teams of 3.
Oh, yes.
Lupin Ranger and Pat Ranger. And that's actually really interesting, because I don't think this is something I remember seeing in any Sentai before, where you sort of have like 3-person teams kind of acting almost against each other in a way. I'm not entirely sure on the specifics of what the overall plot of it is about, but the idea of like 2 polar opposite Ranger teams kind of going at it is pretty damn interesting, and I'm kind of glad that things like Sentai are still finding a way to kind of evolve the genre, and magical girl animes are no different. I mean, they did it with Madoka, where it's a very unassuming magical girl anime that suddenly takes a very dark tone within like the first few episodes.
That's what you get for sleeping in class. You fail your algebra.
Alright, X minus 7. This makes no sense. When are you going to use this in the real world? Seriously.
I always hated where they were like, blah blah blah, solve for X, but they never gave you all the variables. Like, bitch, help me cheat. You know I'm not good at numbers.
Algebra was something that I got it, but I just never really saw the use of it. But then again, I guess I wasn't going into stuff like quantum mathematics or whatever it is that you end up doing when you evolve past the need for algebra and you get into like calculus and such.
I was actually just looking at the Precure timeline, and I was like, oh, 2005, that's not that long ago. That's 13 years ago.
I tell you what, the whole sleeping, like, well, there's a giant equation going on, actually reminded me of an episode of Static Shock, where Richie starts awakening to his Bang Baby powers. He wakes up to this massive equation on the board, so looks at it for 2 seconds and just goes, 4 over pi. And the teacher just goes, well, maybe if you had been paying attention instead of, say what?
Oh, well, that's Richie for you. He was a smart but secretly gay one.
Oh, I don't know about that, but, then again, I don't remember much about, like, the underlying tones of Static Shock, so for all I know, you could be right.
Richie's dad was a massive racist, that's all I'll say for now, so we're meant to be talking over Precure.
So, what other magical girl anime experience do you have? Like, or is it mostly just outsider knowledge that you possess?
Oh, I was a pretty big fan of Card Captors back in the day.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good too. Although I have to admit I didn't watch very much of it. Around that time, I guess I was watching... probably Shaman King, if I had to put a rough kind of timeline on it.
I actually have a story about that. A friend of mine wanted me to watch the dub with them, and I just couldn't sit through it. I found it so awkward.
It wasn't that bad. Like, there were some perhaps questionable ones, but I always liked the dub voice of Rio. He was cool.
I suppose.
Alright, what's going on now then? Are they going to awaken to their Precure or Pretty-Cure powers?
What? I have to transform now? That wasn't in the contract.
Oh, don't go talking about contracts. You may find some white cat waiting to turn you into his personal lapdog.
You might have to spice up my memory and my life with that reference, mate.
That is a Madoka reference with Kyubey.
Okay.
She wished for cake and she got some weird bouncy ball that probably cost no more than $1 at the corner shop.
This isn't a boyfriend. This isn't a boyfriend at all.
Imagine she just got a boyfriend made of cake.
So is that a compact or is it like a phone? Because I've seen morphers made out of both.
It's one of those step counter things. You can't transform unless you walk 2,000 steps.
Unless Pikachu loses 2 stone, you ain't transforming. Oh, doggo!
No anime is complete without the presence of a good boy. Well, this sort, anyway. You can have plenty of animes without them.
But they're lesser animes. We don't talk about those. I gotta say, the episode's moving along at a decent clip, and the animation isn't that bad.
Yeah, I mean, for 2004, it's pretty solid from what I can tell.
I mean, this is roughly around the time we had stuff like Beyblade and whatnot, right?
Yes, I do believe so. Hold on, let me have a look. When did the Beyblade anime occur?
Beyblade?
When was the Bay first established? Apparently its original run was in September 1999.
Wow.
And it finished in July 2004. This is the original series with Tyson, Max, Ray, and Kai.
Oh yeah, the OG.
I can't believe I remember all of those.
Well, you're just a dedicated fan. Look, open that up and get cool powers. You did wish for this, after all.
Something's going on. Oh my god, it's a cute mascot!
Contract accepted!
Wait, help me out of here, I'm still trapped in this goddamn phone.
Oh, I like how they bothered to put in that it's speaking Japanese. I wonder how that was handled in the dub.
Good question, actually, because, I'm just trying to think back. There are a couple of animes that I vaguely remember where they sort of mix in English speakers with, Japanese. I think in the dub, I think sometimes what they end up doing is just reversing it. So, like, they start speaking in Japanese when they would be speaking in English in the original context. Or sometimes they just, like, do, like, some subtitle magickery to, create the illusion that, this person is clearly foreign but is speaking in the same dubbed language as, everybody else.
It's not a cell phone, it's got a demon inside, a very cute demon.
It just opens up and the pinky just comes out.
Don't, alright, I've already had enough of that. I'm still looking up characters and whatnot, don't you worry. Oh, we have Mascots. We have Meppel. He is the chosen protector of the Princess of Hope and is in Nagisa's care. He is quite arrogant and constantly argues with his caretaker, but he loves Meppel, and they are often seen having a lovey-dovey relationship. He ends his sentences with Meepo in the Japanese episodes, and we'll see her shortly, I believe, Meppel, the Princess of Hope, and also in Honoka's care. Unlike Meppel, she is reserved and seems to get along well with her caretaker, but she still cares very much for him. She ends her sentences with Meepo in the Japanese episodes. And there is a third mascot, but he doesn't show up until the second half of the series, so I ain't going to talk about him.
I think that was one thing about the Precure series, is that rather than, I guess, in Sailor Moon, where they had like the cat as the kind of mascot character, I think if I remember correctly, each of the Precure magical girls tend to have their own mascot.
Okay.
Which is quite nice, no need to share and all that, and they all have their own, like, little cutesy character to interact with.
There you go, they're the Prism Stones.
And there's even 7 of them.
I'm chuckling over it.
It's like, shut up before I launch you into space!
You ever played lacrosse, mate?
I have not. I think the sport I played most in my youth was badminton, which I suppose you use a long racket for as well, so I guess it's close, but not quite the same thing.
How many medals does GB have in lacrosse?
I'm gonna wager probably none. Oh god, it's Sephiroth!
I think it might be time to start transforming.
So we've got the freaking Final Fantasy crossovers happening. Gotta go out there and sort this white-haired punk out. I find it amusing that she doesn't know what the hell is going on, and yet she seems perfectly okay just, like, going along with it.
Well, you know, when you get led off on a magical adventure, you must heed the call. There is no menu saying no. You cannot deselect your fate.
If you could, it would make things like this way easier.
Okay, I've never been a fan of mascots ending their sentences with cute run-on words. Alright, here we go. Now it's Sephiroth time.
Oh god, it's Sephiroth mixed with Jiraiya, the pervy sage. Either that, or it's like some extra from like David Bowie's days, or maybe somebody in Duran Duran.
Pissard, really? You're expecting me to take a villain with that name seriously? Whee!
It's like, never fear, girl. There is a Starman waiting in the sky.
I just wanted to transform. I will have my wish.
I am no child. I am a mascot. He does have some pretty fabulous hair, though, I'm not gonna lie.
And, damn man, I wish I could have legs that skinny.
I wish I had nails that well kept.
Wish I had hair that lustrous.
I don't know. It might be quite nice, but I wagered the hairspray costs are probably astronomical.
He's a demon. Probably doesn't even have to, like, comb it when he gets out of bed. Alright, it's time to fight and transform, I believe. Oh, I'm levitating a few things, be afraid.
I am not Magneto. Behold, this is a plastic bin.
Here we go, finally.
Henshin.
Oh, so it's like friggin' Tamers. Like, hasha!
Possibly, although I don't know what the cards are meant to do, if they're meant to, like, give you items and what have you to help you out, or if they summon things. Well, I guess we'll find out pretty soon. Your credit card information has been saved.
This is the most polite transformation music I've ever heard.
It's just like, please permit me to show you a fabulous transformation sequence.
I just said the words that came to my mind. We shall transform together. We're metal for some reason. God, I'm so used to, like, friggin' Goku transforming and everything exploding, and this is a bit of a culture shock.
But yeah, I mean, going back to what you're saying, this is a very polite for a transformation sequence, but I suppose that this is definitely more geared towards the I don't know, would this be considered like a kid's magical girl show, do you reckon? I imagine there's probably some branding and what have you going on, so I guess they have to keep it somewhat PG.
Well, they look like idols, so I would assume so, yeah. Okay, we done yet? It's been at least 5 minutes.
The guy's fallen asleep halfway through.
There you go, just place it politely back in the bag, and that goes there. Aww.
Now you can buy this too, for only $9.99. The branding! It's too much!
Oh, are you going like Master Ultra Instinct or something? What's going on? I gotta say, like, every time I see these two, I do have to like the fact that they're complementing each other colour-wise.
Absolutely. And also there's like a lot of opposites with them just in general as well, like the whole short hair and long hair thing as well. There's a lot to like about how they, I guess, complement each other by being opposites.
Why did I say that? Okay, well, I guess David Bowie's just gonna slap a bitch now.
Well, at least they're giving the sensible reaction to this. Like, they're not just happily accepting it for what it is, just going, yeah, I guess this is our lives now. They're just as bit as confused, like, throughout this entire section. Wait, what do I do now? I think I'll just flail my legs about for a bit.
That's what I do, let's be honest. That was like the lightest throw ever. It's no wonder she landed on her feet.
Well, to be fair, she probably weighs as much as a toothpick.
I gotta say, this Pissard guy is not giving it 100%.
Yeah, I get the feeling it's probably on an off day. He looks a bit pale. Silence says it all, really.
Oh, come on, beam struggle!
Oh great, here come the minions.
Is that it? You just... Okay. I thought he just turned the sky pink for a second.
I was half expecting, like, suddenly the Shadow Realm, but no, it is literally a shadow.
How will you deal with me taking control of the roller coaster?
What will you do now? I'm riding this roller coaster without paying for it! Okay, that's kinda cool.
Yeah, I'm mildly impressed.
Kinda got a little bit of a Monster Rancher thing going on.
Okay, so I'm assuming we can't punch that thing to death, so there must be some sort of, like, ranged attack coming.
Or, like, there's a loose bolt somewhere and you just remove it and the entire thing just falls apart. You may have possessed this roller coaster, but you didn't think of one thing. This carnival is run by very crappily run individuals. Oh, now we got the Beyblade references going.
Get that weak shit out of here.
No Bit Beast. Like, come on, what are you doing here? Ah, there he is.
The power of friendship will destroy him!
Oh, what? They're even copying, like, some of the damn White Tigers things from Beyblade, and I'll have you know that it's Black Thunder Dark Lightning. Or something along those lines. I remember far too much about that show. It's actually kind of worrying.
This is the fuck you, I win power. Holy shit, I wasn't expecting a beam of that magnitude.
Yep, definitely not bad for a pilot episode power. Well, I suppose a first episode.
I didn't like roller coasters anyway. Waltzers are more my speed.
It's like the excitement rating had to be at least 4. And then the Star Roast dispersed in their bid to search for Superman.
He pissed hard off, but tish.
He's off to his next tour location. I wouldn't trust him.
Lovey-dovey scene go! Oh, they're adorable.
They're so pudgy!
You turned into magical girls. What more explanation do you need? It's Precure, bitch.
Well, to be fair, there hasn't been that many magical girl animes up until this point, really, so the explanations kind of have to go hand in hand.
What, is that in canon? Like they never got Sailor Moon?
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna go with. Like, they didn't watch Sailor Moon, they don't have it over there yet.
Kind of easy to understand, but don't worry, the intelligent one will explain things.
The intelligent one just wants to poke for cute things.
Alright, I guess that will bring us to the end of our commentary for episode 1 of Precure. It's honestly not that bad, as far as, like, magical girl animes go. I thought it was going to be a lot more kawaii and cloying, but I can see this being pretty entertaining, especially when it starts to ramp up the plot.
Absolutely, and as you said before, the animation's very good for its time. They paced the actual introduction phase quite nicely as well. They didn't meander around a particular point or anything like that. Is that the entire lacrosse team?
I guess so.
Soon there will all be Pretty Cures.
All of them, even the guys. But yes, this was commissioned by Dimitri Wiesenhunt. Sorry, I forgot to say that at the beginning. I was too hype for Henshin. Alright guys, we'll see you next time for another HFC Patreon TV com. Bye bye.
See you later.